It's day 2 in paradise, the beautiful island of St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands, for the 20th annual Paradise Jam, featuring some of the best women's basketball teams ever assembled in one place. We're at the Sports and Fitness Center at the University of the Virgin Islands. Thank you for joining us, everyone. We appreciate you being here alongside Kevin Lehman. I'm Brenda Van Lingen. Well, day 2. Day 1 is in the books. It was as exciting as we had hoped with all these great teams here. Some great games and even an upset yesterday.
It's just another day in paradise. These teams came in with a record of 37-0. Now we're at 41-4, and the big upset, as we saw in the last game, was Indiana knocking off ranked South Carolina.
Yeah, it was a great day. We have the Island Division that we're playing this afternoon, and then the Reef Tournament side of it this evening as we take a look at the brackets. The games yesterday, Louisville beat UT Arlington. Oregon beat Oklahoma State in our bracket that we're in right now. Our first game today is going to be a matchup between the Louisville Cardinals, ranked number 8th in the country, and Oklahoma State, and then the Reef Tournament will be later on tonight. All of it on Flow Hoops. Thank you for joining us. So let's turn and take a look at this first game today. Louisville came in yesterday. They had a little bit of a struggle against UT Arlington out of the Sun Belt yesterday. And Oklahoma State, after they took that initial punch from Oregon, came back and actually outscored the Ducks in the second, third, and fourth quarters yesterday.
They did, and Jeff Walsh told this Louisville program, or this team, it's a work in progress right now as the pieces are starting to fit together. They got the win, but it was hard, and he knew it was going to be difficult against the Lady Mavs. And then the last game with Oklahoma State, got that first knockout punch, down 10-0. They came back against Oregon and really played them even, but didn't use a lot of players. They used a lot of minutes. See if they have fresh legs here today.
Well, we're looking forward to a good matchup today, and some of our key players we're going to keep an eye on. Jasmine Jones for Louisville has been red hot as of late.
She has been spectacular. Owns the mid-range jumper. 24 points, 7 assists against UT Arlington. She is shooting 64% from the field. 22-plus points in 3 of her last 4 games. She is really heating up, has ability to score off the catch, and is deadly with that one-bounce dribble pull-up.
And Oklahoma State has the National Junior College Player of the Year from last year, and she had her season high yesterday for Oklahoma State, Natasha Mack.
Natasha Mack almost doubled her season average, came in, gets a steal and a run out. Angelina College, National Player of the Year, she has brought it to Oklahoma State. 26 points, 13 rebounds, and she can score in the post, on the steals, mid-range jump shot. This is going to be a really good matchup between Jasmine Jones and Natasha Mack.
Looking forward to it today. The Cardinals and the Cowgirls tip-off coming up after this. Thank you for joining us at the 20th annual Paradise Jam here in St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands, as the Oklahoma State Cowgirls finishing being introduced here at the Sports and Fitness Center on the campus of the University of the Virgin Islands. Alongside Kevin Lehman, I'm Brenda Van Lingen. Glad you can join us. This is day 2 of competition, game number 1 of 4. It will be a full day of basketball here on Flow Hoops. So glad you can join us. And as we take a look, Kevin, at this matchup between Louisville and Oklahoma State, what are your expectations and some keys to this game?
Well, Louisville Cardinals, they need to clean up their ball handling. Too many turnovers. They have to be more efficient. And Jeff Walsh said that's the process of blending some new faces in this program. You look at Oklahoma State program, they got to get on the glass. Natasha Mack needs some help. They gave up 12 offensive rebounds in that loss to Oregon. They got to get some other people involved and clean up the boards.
Oregon with 12 offensive rebounds in that win over Oklahoma State. Oregon, of course, the number 1 team in the country. They'll be coming up next playing UT Arlington. And Louisville, as you mentioned, too many turnovers. 20 turnovers led to 23 points for the Lady Mavs of UT Arlington in yesterday's game.
Yeah, the Cardinals kicked it around a bit. They need to squeeze the orange and hang on to the basketball.
So it's time to get started here in St. Thomas. Natasha Mack will jump it up for Oklahoma State. Bianca Dunham, the 6'2 senior, in the circle for Louisville.
And also for the Oklahoma State Cowgirls, they had changed their starting lineup. Abby Winchester getting the start today.
And we're ready to get things started. Louisville just backs out of the way and concedes the tip.
They would have set their defense.
They want to play defense first.
Like losing the coin flip in a football game.
Oklahoma State now 5-1 with the loss yesterday. Short on the attempt. Fields with the offensive board. Asbury, her second three-point attempt on the first possession, goes down.
Good ball movement. Extra opportunity with the rebound. Mack was trying to post up hard, couldn't get a touch.
Louisville got off to a slow start yesterday against UT Arlington. Double dribble and a turnover for Bianca Dunham. There's a look at Jim Littell on the sideline, a head coach for Oklahoma State. 6 wins shy of 800 career wins. He is facing Jeff Walls of Louisville, who has taken the Cardinals to 3 Final Four appearances in his time there.
Jim Littell has to be pretty happy with the performance in the last 3 quarters of that game and hopefully get it to carry over in today's game.
Knocked out of bounds by Jasmine Jones. 2 empty possessions to start things off for Louisville.
As you mentioned, Oklahoma State outscoring #1 ranked Oregon 45-42 in the second half.
Yeah, after a great start by Oregon, they jumped on Oklahoma State 34-13 in the first quarter, but the Cowgirls actually outscored Oregon in each quarter. Second, third, and fourth quarter, they still lost by 17, but felt like they hung with the #1 team in the country.
And Vivian Gray was 17, but she got to a slow start. She heated up and gave the Cowgirls a little extra punch.
Natasha Mack with the steal. The Cowgirls on the run. Asbury hit a 3 earlier, off to Gray.
Mack has done a little bit of everything for the Cowgirls.
Shook with the fadeaway, and Winchester boards it up for the Cowgirls. Passing ahead, dangerous pass, and Gray can't track it down, almost runs right into the beach zone on the end of the court.
There's some sand back there, so it's a soft landing pattern if you go over that rail. The beach zone.
Great feature here on the court at the University of the Virgin Islands. All these teams have had a great time enjoying the water. Balagoon, Elizabeth Balagoon out of Chattanooga, the transfer from Georgia Tech, hits a big 3 to put Louisville on the board.
Now Balagoon can knock it down. She came in this tournament shooting 47% from the distance. There was a quick double on Mack.
Boy, it left Winchester wide open on the backside. If Fields could have handled it cleanly.
Kylie Shook coming quick on the catch on Mack.
Kick
and the
ball.
backside block is wide open.
Kick ball resets the shot clock to 20. 7:30 to go here in the first quarter action.
And Jeff Walls saw how dangerous that Natasha Mack was yesterday.
Fast break basket for Dana Evans to put Louisville up 5-3.
Down the court in a hurry, there's Mack posted again.
Gray puts the ball on the floor into traffic. 3 defenders there, and then loses a handle. Vivian Gray, the Big 12 newcomer of the year last year, and here's a steal.
Quick hands and numbers going down the court. Fill the lanes, finish. Excellent fast break and timing by the Cardinals. Creating some offense with their defense.
Jasmine Jones at the top of the key, gets the screen from Dunham. Inside the arc. Shook almost with a handle on it, and Asbury comes away with it for Oklahoma State.
Asbury pushing the tempo and pulling back out, waiting for her teammates to set up.
Field sizing it up, decides to pull it out.
She thought about it.
Fields up over a couple of defenders.
Well contested jump shot.
Jones ahead. Oh, off the mark here to get things started for both teams.
She's misfired the last two.
And Jim Littell decides to call a timeout. He's seen enough ragged play in the early going.
It had the look of a shirts and skins game and a rec league game. Both teams going up and down. Inbounds play, Balagoon with quick hands, knocks one loose, and then is able to lead the break. Stops at the free throw line, nice bounce pass to lead her teammate in for the easy basket. Evans with the finish. Got a great game here with Cardinals up by a deuce.
Welcome back to the Virgin Islands. We have a good officiating crew in each game throughout the tournament. Dee Cantner, that's Brandon Innerline there, and Ed Sidlaski are the officials for this 2 o'clock game, a different set of officials for each of our 4 games today. The officials are staying at the same hotel we are. Got to see them enjoying
I see them
the
at
sun.
the pool once in a while. We were doing 4 games a day, Brenda. They do 1.
That's right.
We need to unionize.
Talked to Dee Cantner this morning. She said in the early days of the Paradise Jam, they'd have to do a couple of games per day, but she lobbied to make sure they only had to work 1.
She's a recognizable face, has been here every year I've been here. Great defense.
And right in front of the Cowgirls bench, Dee Cantner taps Jim Littell. She knows he was counting the 5 seconds, and the entire bench was forcing the turnover, the Cowgirls defense.
He's counting right with her. Coach wants to do a little officiating.
Vivian Gray rims in and out.
Good action, though. Come off that high post screen, right to the elbow.
Robinson into the game. She kicks it out to Dana Evans for the 3.
Evans was really effective yesterday. 19 points, couple assists, and 4 steals.
Evans almost steals it.
Almost got another one. Louisville trying to get out in the pass lanes and disrupt this Oklahoma State offensive flow. Now we saw the Cowgirls go off to a slow start against Oregon. They've had some good looks, Brenda, but not able to find the bottom of the well.
Bryn Gerlich, number 10, checks in for Oklahoma State. Gray gets that one to go.
That was a tough shot because Shook switched on her at 6'4". Shook with that long reach, excellent defender.
8-5 lead for the Cardinals, 6-0 on the year. Their 5 wins coming into the Paradise Jam, all were at home in the KFC Yum Center in Louisville. A lot of new faces after graduating. Asia Durer, Erica Carter, Sam Fearing, from those terrific Louisville teams that were in the Final Four just a couple seasons ago.
Well, Jeff Wall says he really likes this team. Big upside, but just a matter of finding the roles, learning how to play with one another. Extremely talented.
Gray has it knocked away. And the Cowgirls will inbound it under the basket with 11 on the shot clock. Boy, Louisville just getting a hand on it. Looked like it might have gone off Gray's knee. Dee Cantner under the basket, saying out on our last touch by Louisville. Natasha Mack taking a seat. She has not scored yet after having a 26-point performance yesterday.
She hasn't got any touches, and when the time she did, the double came fast and hard.
Gray with a fadeaway, can't get that to connect.
Natasha Mack is a big focus of this Cardinal defense, and one of the keys we talk about, clean up the ball lane, Louisville. A little sloppy in that last turnover. 20 miscues.
Bill Annan, the associate head coach, giving a little counsel to Mack. Keep in mind, Mack just playing in her 7th game for Oklahoma State, as she played a couple of years for Angelino College and was the Junior College Player of the Year.
Well, 3 of her last 4 games, she's been 22 plus. scoring at a high rate. Maybe a bit frustrated because she can't get touches.
Robinson being hounded at the top of the key. And another turnover for the Cardinals. D'Souza pushing ahead, and a foul called away from the basketball. A hold and a blocking foul defensively on Mikasa Robinson.
Well, Louisville's had some issues in their half-court offense, getting the ball entered, getting some fluidity. They got some points off of transition.
Jeff Walls looking on.
I really enjoyed going to Louisville practice. Jeff Walls is quite a character.
12th season as a head coach at Louisville. Stops at Maryland and Nebraska previously as an assistant. Foul on the floor called.
Big for Oklahoma State. They're getting on the offensive glass. They had hurt them yesterday against Oregon. And they've been able to capitalize on these second chance opportunities. Asbury hit a 3 earlier.
The buzzer sounds, but the ball had already been handed to Gray. Nice little give and go from the out of bounds position for Vivian Gray.
That was a nice play. Cassie Delap with the kick out. She started yesterday and coming off the bench today for the Cowgirls.
Evans with the mid-range.
Well, I like her game. Controls the game.
The ACC 6th player of the year last year.
Yeah, big time scorer. Can get to her spots. She knows where her jump shots need to come from.
D'Souza draws the blocking foul. That's going to be the second foul now on Robinson.
Well, dribble weave, lots of screens. Took a blow on that one. Took one for the team, but committed the crime.
And that's actually the third foul on Mikasa Robinson, who picked up 3 quick ones into the game here in the first quarter. And it will send Cleton D'Souza to the free throw line, the senior out of Mozambique. And a great move to the basket. Strong finish from Jones.
Well, that was started by Evans. Quick pass up the sideline. Jones had a step, was able to get to the backboard.
D'Souza, the lefty with the 15-foot jumper.
Using Delap as a high post screener. Louisville going below the screens, allowing Oklahoma State to turn the corner.
Hand check foul called on Micah Dennis.
A little more flow in the game. Started rough. Looks like these teams are starting to settle in.
Jones. And she travels. Good defense by Vivian Gray.
Well, we saw the focus of the Louisville Cardinals on Natasha Mack. Now you see the focus of Oklahoma State on Jasmine Jones. She has had no room in their half-court offense. Got the run out in the finish. Evans is pesky on the ball.
Fields has Mack on the block. On the double, kicks out, short, and that's, Louisville would rather have that shot go up than Mack have a look inside.
Well, I think the coach had a talk with Mack. The double's gonna come. That time is gonna come from the perimeter. First time we saw it come from the other block.
Evans splashes home a 3 and extends the lead for the Cardinals.
Evans is feeling the groove.
Already 10 points for the junior, hasn't missed a shot. And a nice block. That time challenging the shot was Liz Dixon. They reward Dixon with the ball inside, takes it right at Mack, and Mack with the block shot.
Cowboys with numbers.
And a pass ahead and the miss by Delap.
That hurts. Need to score on those. 2-on-1 break.
Evans weaving in and out, finds Dixon.
There's a run out.
Micah Dennis ahead to Gray. Gray waits. Balagoon with the block from behind. Gray thought she was clear after the pump fake, and she was not.
Now, Oklahoma State's had some runouts, haven't been able to convert. It was a great second effort. Don't give up on the play, come from behind, and timing, get the block shot.
Louisville with a 4-point lead here with just over a minute to go in the first quarter. Rodriguez misses. Gray. Mack finally scores her first basket. This time it's on an offensive board.
Picked up some garbage.
You can't get the ball in the flow of the offense, go get it off the board. Evans has not missed a shot today.
You better find number 1 in the red jersey.
12 points now. 5 of 5 from the field, including a couple three-pointers. Mack bothered by Dixon. A scramble. Oklahoma State with a three-point attempt and off. Balagoon pushing ahead. Last year's freshman of the year in the conference at Georgia Tech. The transfer scores the basket in transition.
No, Oklahoma State did not get the ball stopped. Balagoon puts her head down and goes coast to coast for an easy 2.
4 seconds left in the quarter. Asbury flying to the basket. Too much. And I'll end with Louisville with the 6-point lead going into the second quarter.
Dana Evans has been on fire for the Cardinals. Kick back. She finds the three-point line, rings the bell from the left corner, then pulls up. The defender goes below the screen right there at the 17-foot mark. Oklahoma State's going to start going to the top of the screen. She's buried the defender a number of times, just pulled up and splashed it through. And then shows that she can go all the way to the basket. Soft touch off the rim.
Didn't miss a shot in her 10 minutes of play. Puts Louisville up 19-13 at the end of the first. Welcome back to the University of the Virgin Islands on the beautiful campus in St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Alongside Kevin Lehman, I'm Brenda Van Langen. Game 1 of 4 here on day 2 of the Paradise Jam. And what a start for Dana Evans. Yesterday she had 19 points, 10 of 10 from the free throw line in the win over UT Arlington. Today she's got 12 points already in the first quarter.
And perfect from the field today.
Using a couple of screens there, bounce passes inside, but a foul going to be called on the floor. That's Rodriguez for Oklahoma State.
A good action out of the timeout. Evans over the screen, bounce pass inside. They got it in deep right in front of the rim.
Inbounding to Diop with the jumper.
OB plays successful.
Diop just played 1 minute in the first quarter. Stretching the lead out to 8 for the Cardinals. Putting the ball down in traffic. Balagoon with the steal.
The Cowgirls have not got much action in the paint other than the offensive rebounds.
Yassine Diop with the illegal screen called.
Ouch. Sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windshield. That time Vivian Gray was the bug. Diop the windshield. That was a hard screen.
Jeff Walls looking on, his team up by 8.
I've been impressed by their defense, Brenda. They've been very aggressive on the ball and have kept it from being thrown inside.
Winchester off the mark. Only 1 shot, 2 shot attempts for Natasha Mack, who scored 26 yesterday.
And that was where she picked up off the offensive rebound. She's not being able to score out of the offense on post feeds.
All the way to the other side of the rim, Liz Dixon.
Good step through by Dixon.
One of those 2 transfers from Georgia Tech, Dixon and Balagoon.
Some length, Dixon. He's doing a job of defending Mack. Mack looks tired. He fought for the post position, kind of gave up once the ball went to the middle of the court.
Kono, freshman out of Japan. Diop. Mack has it knocked away. Kono from the baseline. And this time the foul called on Liz Dixon, the 6'5" sophomore.
Mack going up strong. Dixon comes in. It's a piece of her arm. Let's see if Mack digs in for post position at the offensive end. They need to get her involved in this offense.
Foul number 1 on Liz Dixon.
You know, Mack with 22 plus 3 of the last 4 games, including 24 in yesterday's contest. 26.
Gray from the top of the key, still hasn't been able to get a three-pointer to go down.
Open look.
Mack.
Evans' first miss and was partially blocked.
Gray sees an open lane to the basket.
Oh, I like her hesitation. Defense thought she was going to pull up the three-point line, and then the blow-by.
6 points now for the leading scorer on the year. The newcomer of the year in the Big 12 last year. Evans from the top of the key. Missed her last 2 now.
Well, Evans has got the attention of Asbury. Asbury has tried to lock onto her here in the second quarter.
Mack double team, boy.
So there's a swarm of red around Mack.
Physical defense, and Mack is walking away, holding her eye. Goes to the floor. This basket was made for Oklahoma State, but the officials stopped play.
Hope she can shake that off. There was about 3 sets of hands wearing Cardinal jerseys when she caught the ball in the post.
Dee Cantner steps over to check on the status of Mack.
Yeah, that brings Big Asar back in with the Cowboys.
Winchester almost gets a hand on it and does. Sees Asbury out front. Asbury, no look to Gray, and Gray is pushed. It looked like it was off Gray, but Dee Cantner coming from behind says she was pushed.
Well, it's another turnover by Louisville. Still sloppy with their ball handling. Can Oklahoma State take advantage?
Jasmine Jones picks up the foul, her first. The Cowgirls have it on the inbounds. Mack is on the bench after sustaining some sort of injury to her face.
Yeah, I think Asbury in that 3, she stepped behind the men's line, Brenda. That's been a point of confusion for some of these players. Now, Mack catching the post. Look at the swarm come in here. It's like bees to honey. Gets scraped.
Boy, Diop hit her in the front and the back of the head, it looked like, going for the basketball.
Well, that was no car wash foul. That was the real, but you got their money's worth on that.
And there was no foul call.
That's true.
Balogun with the block. D'Souza staying with it. And the miss by Sarr. Oklahoma State comes up with a steal. Can't convert, though. A lot of turnovers for Louisville, and Oklahoma State just hasn't been able to take advantage.
Yeah, they've had 10 turnovers and opportunities for Oklahoma State. They've got to be able to convert those into points.
Yeah, just 4 points off turnovers for the Cowgirls. So a timeout on the court by Louisville. They're up by 6 with 5:53 to go in the second quarter. Welcome back to the 20th annual Paradise Jam, and Oklahoma State been turning up the heat defensively, but they haven't been able to convert often enough.
It's been a rash of turnovers by Louisville. They already have 10. Yesterday they had 20, and in that game, UT Arlington was able to convert those 20 turnovers into 23 points. But Oklahoma State has not been that efficient. They've only scored 4 points off these 10 Cardinal turnovers.
Evans, who started off the game 5 for 5 from the field, has missed her last 3.
Oklahoma State coming out of that timeout in a zone. Mack back in the game.
Balagoon with the three-pointer.
She had inside, shook wide open, but good decision, splashed it in.
Balagoon has not missed a shot.
Got the hot hand, forget that post, shoot it.
The turnover for the Cowgirls. Jones pushing ahead all the way, deflected, and another turnover for Louisville.
If Jones would have stopped right below the free throw line, she would have had a 10, 12-foot jump shot, penetrated too deep.
12 turnovers now for the Cardinals, and Jeff Walls just put his hands on his hips in disgust.
First thing he told me at the practice session is we have to clean up our ball handling. Making poor decisions with the basketball.
You know, they graduated Erica Carter, who was that steady point guard. Of course, All-American Asia Durr, and then the enforcer, Sam Fearing. But they did pick up Elizabeth Balagoon, and she hasn't missed a shot yet today.
With 12 points yesterday, he's come back with the hot hand again today. Backs up the defender and then puts it on the floor, kisses one off the window. You know, Evans running the point now. Evans, a sixth man last year, different role for her at that point guard position for Louisville.
Elizabeth Balagoon, 4 for 4 from the field. She's made a couple of three-pointers, hasn't missed a shot. She's got 10, and Louisville leading by 11 here in the second quarter. Just a quick break in the action as a 30-second timeout. Louisville leading by 11.
And Louisville with some trapping pressure. Good spacing by the Cowgirls.
And the Cowgirls get a three-pointer from Lauren Fields.
Ball in the middle, back to the weak side. Fields toeing the three-point line.
Fields,
excellent zone press offense.
Fields' first basket of the tournament, as she was 0 for 8 yesterday.
She's been focused on Dana Evans as Fields falls down, gives her an easy basket.
Bianca Dunham scores for the Cardinals. Gray just puts her head down. Balagoon with some good defense. Evans pushing ahead. Evans stepped through, finds Shook, and Shook fouled on the shot.
Now watch the move by Shook. She seals the defender with her right hip. Excellent footwork in the post. Now you get stronger to finish through those arms and get the three-point play.
Kylie Shook coming into the Paradise Jam was 8 of 11 from the free throw line. She just had one attempt yesterday and made it. Makes the second. Louisville extending the lead. The 8th ranked team in the country, the co-champs in the ACC last year, but as we mentioned, graduating 3 key components from that squad. Lots of new faces for the Cardinals this year.
Mack double teamed again, dribbled out of it.
This time a face-up shot, and nothing has come easy for the junior college transfer.
The Shook is coming from the weak side, contesting all of Mack's shots. Somebody's got to dive that opposite block, Brenda. Get a dump down.
Shook with the fadeaway. The Cowgirls looking at a 12-point deficit. Short for Fields. A quick shot for the Cowgirls offense.
They've got up 40 shots, just have not shot it well, only 9 field goals.
Yeah, Oklahoma State held to just 22% by the Louisville defense. Gray knocks one down there.
There we go, a little rub off the elbow. Gray pulls up.
Conversely, Louisville shooting 54%, but they actually have 18 less shot attempts.
Well, they keep turning it over, Brenda. They keep turning the ball over.
Yeah, and you can see the difference. Mack with the rebound.
High ball screen again.
Gray still hasn't hit a three-pointer today. Made just one yesterday.
Brenda, they've abandoned the inside game completely. Mack was getting the double teams. They haven't even looked inside. It's been all perimeter attack by the Cowgirls.
1.5 to go here in the second quarter. Louisville has been leading the entire game, getting most of their scoring from Carter and Balagoon. Shook, pick and pop, and hits the three.
The Horns play with the bigs up top. Shook stepping out. That'll put a stone in your oatmeal. The center stepping out and knocking in a three ball.
Second three-pointer made this year for Shook. Louisville taps it away, and they're on the run. Evans decides to slow things down.
Yeah, they slowed the pace here in the last 2 minutes. They use this double high post, what we call the Horns play.
And Evans all the way to the hoop.
Turn the corner. That is great execution. Double high screen.
About a 4-second differential between the game clock and shot clock for Oklahoma State. Mack decides to take one from the top of the key and hits a three-pointer. Has struggled on the block. It's been tough inside, so she steps up and hits a big three for Oklahoma State. Balagoon with the miss, and it'll just be 0.2 seconds on the clock. And that will wrap up the first half. Louisville shooting 54% from the field, holding Oklahoma State to 24%, but Natasha Mack finally gets some offense going by stepping out and hitting a three-pointer. Back in one of the most beautiful places in the world, the U.S. Virgin Islands, on the island of St. Thomas, as Louisville Cardinals with the 12-point lead at the half over Oklahoma State. Thanks for joining us once again alongside Kevin Leetman. I'm Brenda Van Lengen. We're here on the campus of the University of the Virgin Islands, and we saw very contrasting styles, at least contrasting results in the first half. Louisville shooting the ball well, turning it over. Oklahoma State with a lot of attempts,
yes,
but not being very efficient.
Well, Coach, both coaches tell it like it is. I enjoyed my conversation with Jeff Walls. I said, Coach, can you cut down the turnovers? He said, you tell me. He's tried everything. He said, we have to continue to play fast. Our team is built to play fast. He doesn't want to slow him down. That would put him in right where Oklahoma State wants to do. They'll continue to double Natasha Mack whenever she touches the ball and making life difficult for her and also for Vivian Gray. So he likes what he's seeing defensively, Brenda. It's a matter of cleaning up the ball handling.
They're led in scoring by Dana Evans with 14 points. She was 6 of 9 from the field, knocked down a couple of three-pointers. And then Elizabeth Balagoon with 10 points and 6 rebounds. She was 4 for 5 from the field, also hit a couple of threes. Nobody in double figures yet for Oklahoma State. Natasha Mack finally hit a three-pointer, the first of her Oklahoma State career, to finish things up in the first half. Turnover for Oklahoma State.
Well, we had a game with a lot of turnovers. Almost another there by Louisville.
Balagoon looking for someone to pass to. Evans from the top of the key, knocks it down.
Well, Evans and Balagoon have really played well. Jeff Walls really commented on Balagoon, how she can take it off the window and start their break.
And a foul on the shot by Balagoon. It will send Lauren Fields to the free throw line for the Cowgirls.
We talked about turnovers at halftime. Now it's a problem for the Cowgirls as the aggressive defense for Louisville causes a turnover, and they make them pay with Evans splashing in a 3-ball.
Lauren Fields made her first free throw. She now has 4 for the game. Scores them both. She was 0 for 8 from the field yesterday, so now on the scoreboard for the Cowgirls. Another turnover for the Cardinals.
And that was just a simple ball screen, throw it back the direction you came from. Fields not on the same page with Jasmine Jones, and another TO.
Can Oklahoma State take advantage? That's the real question. You talked to Jim Littell before halftime, and he said we probably had 30 bad possessions as far as the quality of shot. Evans brings it into the front court. She's got Shook on the block. Balagoon into the paint, a floater. And it will stay Louisville basketball.
How did Louisville get that rebound? All I saw was white jerseys. So it went off someone's hands.
Now, coming into the Paradise Jam, Louisville was averaging 19 offensive rebounds a game as they execute a great inbounds play to set it up to Dunham. They only had 2 offensive rebounds in the first half, but they made a lot of shots. Vivian Gray struggled from the field in the first half, 4 of 15. Fires it up there, just constantly being contested by the Louisville defense.
Well, Shook is really Johnny on the spot. She has come there so quick to double on the high side. You see some teams will double on the baseline with the other post. The Cardinals are coming with Shook with all that size, 6'4" in length, and it's taking away any passing vision for Mack, so she can only throw it right back out where it came from. It's a great strategy by Coach Walls.
And an offensive foul on Fields.
And Mack with a huge game yesterday for Oklahoma State. 26 points, 12 of 19. In this game, she has struggled to get good looks. She's just 2 of 4 from the field. One of those was a putback, and that was zoned by the Cowgirls.
Travel. Well, you talk about the defense that Louisville is playing on Natasha Mack, the post player, and people with a history in women's basketball know that Louisville pulled off one of the biggest upsets in NCAA women's basketball history by shutting down Brittany Griner and Baylor back in 2013. They were the #1 team in the country. Louisville brought the defense on Griner inside, who is now a terrific player in the WNBA, so Jeff Walls has always found a way to defend those post players, and are doing a great job today on Natasha Mack. On the offensive end, the turnovers continue to plague the Cardinals.
Yeah, we've seen some double teams from the Cardinals. Now there's a double team by Oklahoma State causing that turnover. It's not been smooth sailing for the Cardinals handling the basketball.
Welcome back to the Paradise Jam here in St. Thomas. Day 2 of action here in the Island Tournament. Next game up will be the #1 team in the country, the Oregon Ducks. They will face UT Arlington. It's a 4-team round-robin tournament with 3 games in 3 days. And Oklahoma State out of the timeout with the miss. Louisville with a chance to build on its lead.
Cowgirls just shooting 23%. They've had some good looks but have struggled, but that girl has not. Dana Evans continues to find the range for the Cardinals.
3-point shot goes down for Evans. She's now got 20 points, Evans does. And the Cowgirls just continue to struggle to make the ball go in the basket.
That's some open looks, just cannot knock it in, and they have abandoned their inside game because the double team on Mack.
Mack held to just 2 of 4 from the field. One of those field goals made was a three-pointer. Gerlich blocked inside by Shook. Just 12 on the shot clock. Mack double teamed, steps away from it. Winchester with an offensive board, nowhere to go. And Oklahoma State will reset.
Well, the double team does expose you to offensive rebounding. Mack, aggressive shot, go get it back.
Asbury tries to thread it into Gray. Somehow she comes away with it and scores.
That's offense by accident. You know, if you can take Mack and have her ball screen, Brenda, out near the perimeter, then rim dive, make it harder to double team her. She's just standing in the post on the catch, and it's easy for Shook to go find her.
Asbury short. And a big rebound for Jones. Evans taps it out to Jones. Jones with a mid-range. Shook with the board. Evans continues her hot ways, 23 points. Now for Dana Evans, she is 5 of 6 from three-point range.
Yeah, good offensive rebound, a kick out. The defense is scrambled. Evans makes them pay as they build up a big lead here on the Cowgirls.
Back in the Virgin Islands, keeping an eye on Dana Evans today as she has been outstanding.
That guy likes what he sees. She's got 23 points. Dana Evans, 9 of 12, has knocked in 5 triples. Has ran this offense, 3 assists sprinkled in.
Oklahoma State bringing it up against some pressure. Jamie Asbury, the point guard, redshirt sophomore.
High-low looks now. Cowgirls.
Mack on the bench. So now you've got KB Sarr in at the low post for the Cowgirls.
And Rodriguez in, they're playing they tried some high-low game on that last possession.
3-second violation. Called on Bianca Dunham for being in the lane too long.
Another turnover by the Cardinals. Can the Cowgirls convert?
16 turnovers for the Cardinals. Gray traveled. All out of sorts.
Well, Gray answers, so they have 10 now for the Cowgirls in the turnover department. Gray has gotten some shots, but has struggled to find the range. Everything she has been contested. She's had a couple open looks early, was able to finish.
Asbury picks up her first foul. Well, nobody for the starting lineup of Oklahoma State shooting especially well. Vivian Gray now 5 of 19, but Jamie Asbury is 1 for 9. Winchester 1 for 4. Lauren Fields 1 for 4. Mack 2 for 5. So it has just been a struggle as Oklahoma State held to just 23% here in the game so far. And Jasmine Jones finding her way through the defense. A lot of contact, but able to finish the shot.
Well, we highlighted Jones, but she's been quiet in this game. They have not needed her offense.
Yeah, she's got just 4 points, and then a foul picked up by Evans, I believe, for Louisville.
And Jones got that other one, and you can see her drive. That's what she likes to do, get in the paint. She got the other basket, a little fist pump. She got that first basket on a run out. Fast break opportunity. Has not scored in their half-court offense other than that last basket.
Bryn Gerlich short on the fadeaway. Up ahead, the finish for Liz Dixon.
When the bigs run, you must reward them. I've also liked the game of Kono off the bench. She played well yesterday in some short spurts for Louisville. She was the assist on that last play.
A talented freshman out of Japan. Asbury wild to the basket. Vivian Gray finally hits a three-pointer in this one.
Really nice kick out. Much more active inside now, the Cowboys, if they've gone with those other two post players. There's more movement from Sarr. And Rodriguez.
Forced pass, but off the hands of the Cowgirls. It will stay on this end.
Rodriguez active, using her length to deflect that ball out of bounds.
Jim Littell talking to the officials, saying that the Louisville Cardinals player never stepped out of bounds to take the ball inbounds, and Jim Littell stepping onto the court.
He's asking for a technical.
And he got one. I don't know if we have a look at that, but Jim Littell is saying that Louisville never stepped out of bounds to inbound it.
That would help your fast break, certainly.
And on the other end, Dana Evans makes the first free throw of her technical.
We'll see how Jim Littell's team responds. Part of this to get his team fired up.
Littell in the face of Ed Sedlatsky. I think it was on the other end after Oklahoma State had made the shot. They're saying Louisville did not step out of bounds to inbound it on the other end of the court.
Took it out of the net and went. Oh, nice feed.
A nice feed inside to set up Liz Dixon.
Evans with the delivery, read the pick and roll defense perfectly.
She's got 8 points now for the Cardinals.
But Dana Evans came with that pick, and then she backed up to create space and fired a pass right through the middle of the defense.
Let's take a look back, as this was after the made shot. And
I'd say
yeah,
coach
right.
has got a good argument.
And it was right in front of the official. That's why Jim Littell got in the face of the official. You've got a lot to watch out there, but with 3 officials, you got to make sure they're stepping out of bounds to inbound it. Jones going to work.
She struggled today. The Cowgirl defense has been good on Jones. Big game yesterday.
Yesterday she scored 24 points. She's been held to just 4 today on 2 of 6 from the field. Gerlich this time able to hit that jumper.
Good fadeaway by Gerlich. They have not needed Jones's offense. They've got it from other people today.
Knocked out of bounds. Louisville basketball with 25 on the shot clock. Bryn Gerlich hit the last shot for Oklahoma State. She's the daughter of Krista Gerlich, who is the head coach for UT Arlington, who will face Oregon in our upcoming game here on Flow Hoops. This is the Island Tournament portion of the Paradise Jam. There are 2 4-team tournaments. This round robin play to determine a winner. The way they set up the games, the top-ranked teams will go against one another on Saturday. So tomorrow it will be Louisville and Oregon, the 2 top 10 teams going against one another. Diop commits the travel. In the other bracket, Indiana, Baylor, and South Carolina are all ranked in the top 25. Last night, Indiana with the upset of South Carolina. Now Indiana will face Baylor tonight, and South Carolina will face Washington State in our nightcap. And Mack is fouled on her way to the basket. No double team came that time.
Yeah, Mack back in the game. I don't know if Louisville realized she was back in. The double team did not come from the other side. And Kylie Shook is on the bench. She had been doing most of the double teaming. And there goes Jeff Walls, just walked down and grabbed Kylie Shook and said, get back in the game. Mack is in there. You're going to double on any touch. They really respect this game of Mack. Tasha Mack, we mentioned junior college national player of the year out of Angelina College. It's been a double-double machine for the Cowgirls.
Converts both free throws.
Mack now with 6.
Robinson knocked out of bounds with 3 to go on the shot clock.
Robinson got caught with nowhere to go, picked up her dribble. No passing angles. Good defense, took away her vision.
So Jeff Walls making some substitutions, making sure that the play is in place as Balagoon going to inbound it from the sideline with 3 to go on the shot clock.
You get a touch for Dunham inside. The screen across.
Over the top. The fade by Shook just caught the front end of the iron. Mack at the elbow. Gerlich, little shot fake. Fade, hits another.
Good shot.
4 points now for Bryn Gerlich.
Just like Mom taught her, kept her eye on the prize.
Krista Gerlich, a terrific player back in her time with Texas Tech in the 90s, helped them to a national championship. Again, she'll be the head coach for UT Arlington in our upcoming game. 4-second differential between game and shot clock. Balagoon has it tipped away, and I'm going to say Oklahoma State basketball with 6.6 to go here in the third quarter. Gray dribbles into traffic and is fouled on the floor. That will be in the bonus. That's the 5th team foul. So Louisville really bailing Oklahoma State out there as Gray really had nowhere to go with the ball.
They switched the ball screen, jumped out right in front of her, but too active. Create the contact.
Vivian Gray with 14 points now for the Cowgirls.
She's had to work hard for those 14.
And that's the way the third quarter will end. Bryn Gerlich trying to chip into that lead for Louisville. The nice little baseline jumper for Oklahoma State. But the Cowgirls 6-0 on the year, 8th ranked team in the country, lead by 17. Welcome back to the Paradise Jam in the U.S. Virgin Islands. The 8th ranked team in the country, the Cardinals, with the solid 17-point lead as we start the fourth quarter of play. And alongside Kevin Lehman, I'm Brenda Van Lingen. Imagine how good this Louisville offense would be if they weren't turning the ball over.
Brenda, they're shooting 52%. From the three-point line, they're at 72%. But they've kicked it around 18 times. Think of the high ceiling they have if they can clean up their ball handling, because their half-court offense is highly efficient. Good ball movement.
Evans from three-point range. And Jeff Walls talked about that, graduating those 3 great players last year, and all the new players, usually they start on the continuum of 1 to 10 at about a 5 or a 6, and they build from there. He said this year we're about at a 2 as far as the team coming together and understanding what we want to do. We've got a long way to go, but we have some great upside with this team.
Oh, there's a lot of talent, and they've got this one under control. If this holds up, they're going to face #1 Oregon tomorrow night.
Blocked by Shook.
I like her D. Look at Shook run the court.
And they reward her, but she can't finish on the other end. Gerlich too strong. Balagoon chases it down.
Shook doesn't wow you with her stat line, but is very effective. She was the person that doubled Mack, gets on the glass. You saw in that last play how well she can run the court, soft hands. I like her game. And everything she does shows up on the stat sheet. She affects the Oklahoma State's offense.
And all the way to the basket, Balagoon.
How about that move? Slithered through the defense. She's on skates. This was defenders. Gets the ball out in front so the defense can't get to it. Balagoon having a nice game today.
"12 points on 5 of 9 shooting overall. This is her first trip to the free throw line. And she's not able to complete the three-point play. Foul on the floor called on Cassidy DeLapp, trying to block out Louisville.
DeLapp got her arm hooked. Then tries to pull out, but too late.
The ball screen. Jones can't convert.
Jones with just 4, but they haven't needed her points. As Evans got hot, we've got a big game out of Balagoon.
DeLapp off the mark.
Yeah, there's one of those shots that shook Alters because of her length.
Shook stepping out, rims in and out. And a foul on Evans.
Yeah, Evans has her hands on Asbury's. He does a sweep move and the form. Asbury a little shove off herself. Back at the elbow.
And Balagoon gets a piece of it.
And Balagoon's been doing it both ends of the floor. Offensive end, great block.
And a travel, good help defense by Natasha Mack.
Evans got in the teeth of the beast and there was nowhere to go. I hate to say this, Brandon, but that's another turnover for this highly efficient Louisville offense. If you took out those possessions, if they kicked it around, their points per possession would be off the charts.
Mack triple team, kicks it out.
Yeah, if she could look opposite or split the defense, it's going to be a really good teaching experience for Natasha Mack when they look at this film, the way that she was guarded in this game.
Gray short. Yeah, she definitely not likely will have seen that kind of defense at Angelino College in her junior college days, and Louisville, one of the best defensive teams to take out a post player.
Well, she may have been doubled in junior college, but probably not with the size that she's seen here and the quickness. So it's some really good, we call those film sessions the good, the bad, and the ugly. There we go.
Splitting the defense, trying to draw.
Yeah, it just didn't, that was the right idea, but not enough balance.
And blocked by Gray. It is a little ragged here in our first game of the day on day 2 of the Island tournament. And DeLapp is rewarded going to the rim.
Well, that was Mack on the double. That time she turned and faced, threw it over the top because her post partner ran to the front of the rim. That is how you beat a double team. She's learning.
And we're still in November.
Yeah, it's early. You're right, good point.
Early in the season, a lot to learn.
Well, that's what's great about these tournaments. 3 games, 3 days, 3 different preps, 3 different defenses, offensive styles.
Dunham scores inside for the Cardinals, 6 points now for the senior.
Jeff Walls has a number of post players he can throw in. They all do a little something different. It's good pieces of the puzzle that fit together for this Cardinal team.
D'Souza steps on the baseline.
What do you think, Brenda? You've seen this team. I mean, the pieces are there. Well, what I'm seeing.
For Louisville?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, definitely. It's a matter of those 4 new players, the 2 transfers from Georgia Tech, the veterans that are on the squad coming together and just finding some chemistry with their offense.
Yeah, they got some size inside.
Beautiful play. Not able to convert Jones. Good look for the Cardinals.
They got a good point guard at Evans with some speed, can knock in threes. A number of bodies inside, and
Gray lines it up from three, her second three-pointer.
Shook at 6'4", can patrol the middle.
Biggest lead for Louisville is 24. It's been cut to 16.
Goes in his zone defense.
Finding her way through traffic. Nice shot for Kono, the freshman.
I like her game.
Very steady.
Yeah, she just has a feel, has a good feel. That last play, she turns the corner, doesn't speed herself up, goes right where the open spot is, and gets a basket. She did the same thing yesterday. I was impressed. Had short minutes, but she was very effective.
Jeff Walls taking a moment to speak with Dana Evans as his team up 62-44 here at the media timeout. We've got just 4:26 to play in our first game of the day.
See, Kono used the ball screen, able to get to the free throw line. Defense does not collapse, makes a great decision and finishes it. And there's the beautiful blue water of the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Welcome back to the University of the Virgin Islands on the island of St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands. This is game one of the Island Tournament. Coming up next, the #1 team in the country, Oregon, will play UT Arlington. The Louisville Cardinals, ranked number 8 in the country, leading Oklahoma State 62-44 with just over 4 minutes to play. As has been the theme of the day, good shooting for Louisville, although too many turnovers. Oklahoma State has not been as efficient, but D'Souza gets one to fall there.
Nice move by D'Souza. Can take the handoff and square up and finish. See the spacing against the zone.
And Evans with another three-pointer.
And that play was made by Kuno, splitting the seams of the zone, staying under control, kicking it out to the open Evans.
Career high 31 points for Evans. And then Natasha Mack is fouled and will go to the free throw line.
Inside to Mack. She needs to use 2 dribbles, not 1. Able to get the contact at the free throw line. Mack with 6, and one of those was his three-pointer.
Foul was on Bianca Dunham, her second foul.
Good finish.
So Dana Evans with a career high, just 28 points. Just. I had mentioned 31 earlier, but had tacked on.
You're gonna count her next 3.
Yes, it might be coming, but she is 6 of 9 from beyond the arc. Her previous career high had been 24 points against Central Michigan last year. Actually, just earlier this year on November 14th.
Dana Evans may be done for the day.
So Evans on the bench, 28 points, 6 of 9 from 3, 10 of 15 overall. She made both free throws, had 4 rebounds as well as 5 assists for the Cardinals.
Had a good game yesterday with 19 points. Was perfect from the free throw line, 10 of 10. You like your point guard to be able to make free throws. You can put it in their hands at the end of a tight game and know they can convert.
Bianca Dunham lost her shoe and tried to throw it under the basket and actually hit Vivian Gray in the face with her sneaker. Gerlich picks up her dribble. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Gray scoots to the basket. Can't finish it. She's still wiping away at her lip after she got the.
Now she's getting the shoe on.
Dunham's going back to put her tennis shoe on, and Jeff Wall's going to call a timeout to give her time to do it. That was a strange set of events, and we're going to go take a media timeout out of this stoppage in play. Louisville leading 65-47 with 2:26 to go. Back in St. Thomas at the Paradise Jam, game number 1 of our Friday of games. A full slate with some of the best teams in the country. We've got 5 top 25 teams here in competition. Louisville, one of them, the 8th-ranked team in the country, as they get the ball to Liz Dixon inside for the score. They've got a 20-point lead, have led by as many as 24 here in their game against Oklahoma State.
Liz Dixon hid behind the backboard, then did a great step-in move on that last play. Pinned and sealed her defender. Easy finish.
Natasha Mack on the floor after trying to split the defenders. I don't know if she was hurt as she split the defenders or as she fell to the floor, but she was fouled by Dixon, her second foul.
Watch her step in, sealed the defender on Mack. Drop step and finish. Remember, Mack got hit in the first half also and had to leave the court.
The officials, or the training staff, looking at her shin.
There's the post up. They tried to split the defense. We saw her do that earlier. Now she's up.
Looked like her foot got caught on the floor. Kind of stuck as she went through that double team. As she is being helped off by Jim Littell.
Here comes the double from the high side. She tries to split it. It was her left ankle or leg that she was favoring on the way off the court. Or excuse me, her right one.
Gray misses off the inbounds pass. 1:50 to go. Louisville beat UT Arlington in game 1 yesterday. This holds on as it will appear that it will. Louisville going to 2-0 here in the Island tournament. They will get ready to face the #1 team in the country, Oregon. The team with the best record in pool play will win the Island tournament. Block, but the foul committed on Elizabeth Dixon. And substitutes in for both teams.
Louisville has really shot that ball well from distance. 9 of 14 from long range.
Vivian Gray going to take a seat for Oklahoma State. 18 points, but it came on 24 shot attempts. She was 7 of 24 from the field, 2 for 6 from three-point range, a couple of free throws.
I thought Louisville did a really good job of taking away the strengths of Oklahoma State. First it was inside Tasha Mack, and then they were hounding Vivian Gray. Every time she had the ball in her hands, she was getting switched on to. Very few open looks for Vivian.
Ripping it away is Fields. Fields, remember, just a freshman, a 5'9" freshman out of Shawnee, Oklahoma. Having a hard time finding her place within the offense here early, but a lot of very young players for Jim Littell's team, just trying to figure out their roles, what they're expected to do within his offense and defensive schemes.
Well, I thought they looked good yesterday in the last 3 quarters. Their game against the top-ranked Oregon team. They scored 32 points in the paint, kind of settled into their game. Rough sledding today.
Limley into the game, number 24 for Louisville, and then the drive and the basket for Lindsay Duval. Playing in some minutes here at the end of the game. Louisville going to walk away with the victory. The Cardinals move to 7-0 on the year and get ready to face the number 1 team in the country, Oregon, tomorrow. They were led in scoring with a career high by Dana Evans, 28 points on 10 of 15 from the field, 6 of 9 from beyond the arc, with a couple of free throws made. Also joining Evans in double figures was Balagoon, who finished with 12 points and 10 rebounds, so a double-double for Balagoon. Oklahoma State slips to 5-2 after losing to Oregon yesterday, and now to Louisville today. They will face UT Arlington tomorrow in the Island Division. The 8th-ranked team in the country getting the victory, 69-48 over Oklahoma State. And now, my broadcast partner, Kevin Lehman, catching up with Jeff Walls.
Here with Jeff Walls. Coach, first I'm going to bring up the bad, 20 turnovers. Let's bring up the good, though. How efficient your offense can be once you clean up those turnovers.
No, that's really our Achilles heel right now. We shoot the ball pretty well when we actually get shots up. I'm the one that's colorblind on this team, and unfortunately, I think some of my players, it's rubbing off on them because we are definitely throwing it to the wrong color out there a lot.
Well, I really think once you get that straightened out, you guys will really be effective, and now you got to get ready for Oregon tomorrow.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. They're a great basketball team. They got great offense. But we'll enjoy this. We'll get some rest, and then we'll sit there and get things working on that tonight.
Okay, thanks, Coach. Congratulations. All right, let's bring in Dana Evans. Your hands needs to go in a bucket of ice. You were red hot today. Now, last year, 6th man of the year in your league. How have you adjusted to the starting role?
I've adjusted just doing what I've been doing. I work hard and I put in the work, and my teammates found me tonight, and that's how I was able to get shots.
Is it a different mentality, though, being starting point guard and running this show?
Yes, I have to be mentally stronger than everybody else because I have to be the leader on the floor at all times.
Well, you've been down there for a couple of days in the Virgin Islands. What fun things have you done off the court, away from basketball?
Off the court, we went on a boat ride, and it was fun. I didn't get in the water or go snorkeling, but I watched everybody else do it, and it was pretty cool.
Well, why didn't you get in the water?
I don't swim.
Well, you can't be in the Virgin Islands without swimming.
I know, yeah. It was fun just watching everybody, though.
Okay, hey, congratulations, and good luck tomorrow as you get ready for number 1 ranked team.
Thank you.
All right, back to you, Brenda.
Thanks, Kevin. And may not like to swim, but she sure does hoop. But she scored 19 points yesterday in their win over UT Arlington. Followed that up with a career high for Dana Evans with 28 points to lead the way for the Louisville Cardinals. Cardinals moving to 7-0 on the year and get ready to face the number 1 team in the country tomorrow. Oklahoma State will play UT Arlington in our final day of play here at the Paradise Jam. The Cardinals with the 69-48 victory over Oklahoma State. On behalf of Kevin Lehman and our entire Flow Hoops crew, thanks for joining us for Game 1. We'll be back with Oregon and UT Arlington coming up next.